I was actually born here in Milford, Utah, and my brother and brother-in-law and my dad all worked for the railroad. It became a railroad community. There were several hundred jobs here. It was a good living. It was a fun job. The railroad started cutting back on all the personnel. We went from several hundred down to probably 45 or maybe 50 at most that work there now. I was on the railroad for 32 years. We have everything there is to offer right here in this little old valley. With geothermal, we have wind, we have solar, biofuel. So we've had a small geothermal power plant up there, Roosevelt Springs. It's been there for 30-something years. And they expanded it a little bit, but they just didn't want to invest the money and the new technology and the expansion and everything. We've seen what mining is, seen what the railroad done. We've seen what Smithfield done. They come in, they made the problem that we're going to be here forever, you know, and they up and left. And here we are now and looking for Fervo. And I really think Fervo is going to be a blessing for us.
They've really been a positive impact on me as far as a business owner of my business. Over the last few years, I would dare say tripled my business. Easily. My mom's here almost every day with me. All three of my girls work every day with me. A few of my nephews. I always go to them for advice every day. I'm calling them. What do you think I should do? It's very important to have family. Fervo coming in has financially helped a lot of people, which is nice. And yeah, I don't think I would have ever been even slightly interested in clean energy if it wasn't for meeting the people through my diner, getting to know the people who were involved with Fervo and clean energy.
Milford was going through a tough time because Smithfield had just announced their intention to reduce all of their activity in the area, and the county was really suffering from that news. I walked into a room I thought I was just going to meet with Michaela, and it was Michaela, who was the treasurer of the city at the time, Mayor Nolan Davis, and the entire city council. And I was like, okay, here I am. This is who I am. I'm from Texas, and we are a geothermal developer. We own some leases, and we're thinking about building a project, and I want to know what acting as a good partner looks like to you all. And so I like to joke with the mayor because he said, you walked in sort of as we were receiving that bad news, and I just thought you were a whippersnapper from Texas, and I said, I'll believe it when I see it. And now, of course, we're very good friends, and he says he always picks up my call because he believes it now. I would say a lot of people on our technical teams, drilling, completions, geophysics, all of our subsurface people, a good portion of that squad derives directly from oil and gas. I loved my time in oil and gas. I loved the blue-collar workers I worked with. I loved getting up every morning before the sun for day shift, or in the afternoon for night shift, and tromping around in the dirt and being really tired and dirty at the end of the day. And this is such a beautiful mix of both. I often say that this is like using my powers for good, my powers being what I developed in the oil and gas industry. And I had seen enough spills from operators like eating their lunch and overflowing a tub of chemical onto the ground that would ultimately seep into the water table that I was like, I knew exactly what I wanted from a spill prevention perspective, from a cleanup perspective. I didn't necessarily have trust that the operator that was coming would ensure that, no harm came to our land and our aquifer. Geothermal energy uses heat from the earth to generate, in our case, electricity. And so what we've done is we've taken an oil and gas approach, which is drilling horizontal wells. So we have hot rock everywhere. So if there is a way that we can harvest that hot rock that exists anywhere you look across the world, then geothermal will be scalable.
So before Fervo, I was working at a coal power plant. A lot of the similarities between a coal plant and a geothermal plant is the biggest thing is they're both base load, 24/7 power. The biggest difference is one's 24/7 green energy and the other's brown power. The impact this job's had on my life and my family's lives, it's allowed us to stay in the area, stay where we want to be, and I'm able to, to live in the community that I want to live in and be able to do the things that I love and enjoy.
They were already waving at me. I told you they're gonna give me a hard time. The one in the pink cleats that's number 3 is mine. My understanding of what they said they were going to do was come in here. They were going to build a business that was environmentally conscious, and they were going to hire locals and bring jobs to this area. Jobs are a huge thing in a rural community, but there's not a lot of careers. That's one thing that people say in Beaver County, is that we're looking for careers, and Fervo's coming in and giving the opportunity for people like me and my young athletes to have a career. To see one of your young athletes come out of high school and get a job opportunity that's not just a job, but a career. And I'm getting emotional now because it was a full circle moment. That's what you want as a coach, especially when you invest in your kids in the way that we do. And his excitement came from knowing what we're about, getting to come out and experiencing it. And then now he gets to come work for us. And that was super exciting for me. I literally got teary-eyed like I am now in the job interview. And I was like, this is a proud moment. Like, I think it's possible because Fervo is here.
As a principal of high school, as we watch this boom and bust and some of those things that happen as different companies come and go, it has a huge impact on the students. One of the first companies that owned the mine, one of their execs met with me and said, how can we help the school? We really want to help the school. And the first thought that came to my mind was provide a steady job so that my students and their parents have a steady income so they can be stable. So then they're in an environment where they can learn. That's actually in progress to have happen here with Fervo. They're definitely investing in things with a long-term mindset in place.
Fervo has donated the last couple of years to our program, and what we like to do is our welding pathway completers, we like to get them welding equipment so that when they're going either to a trade school or whether they're going into the field, they have some of the equipment that they need to get started. And they made a donation earlier this year, which will help this year's seniors as they go into a trade school or into the trade next year.
Biggest problem we have here in Milford, Utah now is housing. We've been short housing for quite a few years. It's like that all over, but what makes it so difficult in Milford is we haven't had the growth. We haven't had the sustainable jobs and everything where people are willing to come back, buy a home, and try to raise a family.
In a way, it's bad. Housing would have to be top of the list. And that's what I hear most of the townspeople talking about. It's weird because there's not enough housing for the Fervo people, but it's also raising the cost of housing for the locals. The rent's just insane. People know they can charge so much because people from Fervo need a place to stay and they'll pay it.
Locals are starting to feel rent hikes, and they're starting to feel limited supply in the community. I think some of that is kind of inevitable. And going back to my whole desire to not incur boom and bust on this community, I told Michaela, look, we need to ensure the housing gets built that Milford believes is sustainable for its community. And she said, what I really need in order to know what housing is good is I need to redo the city zoning plan. And so I need Fervo's partnership to help me do that so I can know what housing is right for us. And so that's what we're doing today.
That was going to be quite costly because we have to have an engineering firm out of Fillmore, Utah do that. And when we was talking about it, they said, well, we want to help you out. We'll go ahead and make that donation. So they made that donation. I'm just so appreciative of the collaboration that we have and their willingness to work and look at our problems.
You know what we can see down there? You can see this plant that we've built. It's like such an extreme tangible manifestation of when you are driving towards a mission as challenging as helping to solve climate change. It's just like deeply satisfying.
What civilization wants as a whole is clean energy. To me, they're on the forefront of it. I really feel they're going to be here for a long, long time.
I am hopeful that we can actually succeed in making the world a better place for our kids. And then I'm like picturing this road trip down the line and maybe we have a van, I don't know, and we go to Zion and we go to Bryce Canyon and then we roll up here and it's like, Mommy built this thing, how cool is that? That'd be so cool. And Mayor Nolan will still be here for sure. So we'll hopefully go break bread at his table and it'll be just really lovely.